finding a privy anywhere along the trail is always a blessing. And we're grateful they've put them out here. And this one's just behind the shelter, a little bit of down and up, but not too bad of a walk. Oh, there it is, over there. You can see it through the trees. Right there in the center of the screen. So we're at 3179 and headed up to 3780. So 600 feet up in 1.5 miles to get to the summit of Springer Mountain. Well, we're at 3,530 feet. We've got 0.4 of a mile and 230 feet up left. And we are definitely climbing now. We came from way down there. I don't know if you can see it right in the center next to that tree, and then kind of off to the right. That gray line is the trail. Came around there and up here. So, this is what I didn't see going in the dark, but didn't see any of this. And I apologize if any sniffles come through on the camera. I'm trying not to do that while the camera's running, but sometimes it may happen just because I'm not paying attention. I apologize if it does. So for a thru hiker just starting out who does the approach trail, which it really lets you know the kind of condition you're in, for one thing. And it's really pretty out here, especially with no leaves on the tree when you can see so much. So I'm really glad that we came back and I was able to do this because it's been an extremely enjoyable day, and it reminded me once again of just how much I enjoy hiking. I just like it. So let's head on up. It is January 4th, 2017, and sorry about the hat, it's a little wookety right now, but Shijulev and I are at the top of Springer Mountain at the southern terminus. I thought, well, I need the exercise, and I need to, keep working my legs, and I wanted to see it, and I'd like to get some pictures, and so I tried to get some good pictures of the approach trail to really show what it's like, because I've gotten, of course, quite a bit stronger, which is good to know that I could get that much stronger. So I'm going to show you this sunset. My battery may be running out, so as I said, the battery's running out, so I don't know if this is going to capture any of this, but we'll give it a try. Pretty awesome, isn't it? Thru hikers getting ready to come through here, and as a matter of fact, let's look in the book. Let's see who the early birds are. There's the book. Well, here's one. January 1st, Greg Beard. Class of 2017. Attempt to break the thru hike age record. Looks like day hikes. So you've gotten all this input, you've watched all these videos, you've read the Facebook posts on the Appalachian Trail pages, and now you have to make a decision. Well, at some point you have to make a decision before you take your first step. Maybe you won't make the decision until the day you start. But there's one thing for sure. It's totally up to you. I mean, if you sincerely really want to do the approach trail, then do it. And don't let anybody talk you out of it. But just know that if you're not in shape yet, this is not really a good place to do it for a thru hiker. The normal person who is not in shape, who starts on the approach trail, I would say, now I was in terrible shape starting. So, and I'm 65 and had been sedentary for 6 years, other than a little bit of walking we started doing for a few months before we went out there. So I can't really compare anybody to me, but let's say you're in your 30s or your 40s or even your 20s and you've been behind a desk and your muscles aren't built at all yet, and you're convinced that all you need to do is start your thru hike, and then you'll get in shape on your hike. I would encourage folks like that to consider going ahead and taking the shuttle to Springer, because you've got the mile up climb of 400 feet or so, and then you got to go back down the 400 feet. But then for the next several miles, 6-7 miles, your first day after that is going to be a relatively easy day and a great day to start for someone who's not in shape. Steve Walker is a good one to look at, 2016, and he ended up in a blizzard up there and almost quit. So, and he is someone who's, I'm not sure how old he is, but he's definitely over 40, maybe over 50. He's not as old as me, I know. But he ended up losing a lot of weight while he hiked, and just was a big guy with a big heavy pack. And if your pack is too heavy, if you're over 30 pounds, I mean, we were 40 pounds, so I'll just tell you, I think we may have even been 45. I don't think I could have been 45 because I couldn't have stood up and walked with that much weight, but I was definitely at least 35 pounds. So just carrying that weight that first few miles was excruciating. And, so you may be too heavy. That's not a good place to start if you're too heavy. And if you're under 30 pounds, and especially if you're fit, and if you want to know, for me, I plan on doing it again. If I feel strong. If I feel like my feet have gotten toughened up. But the reason I want to do it is that because of what we're doing, and I'm going to have to hike distances longer than what I've done in the past, in order to get close enough to trailheads so G can hike up to where I am at night, I kind of want to use it as a test. And again, I mean, stairs don't bother me. Yeah, I'll probably do the stairs just because I do stairs all the time. And I mean, I'm climbing the Empire State Building twice a week. So Steve Walker made another good point, I think, in his previous, and maybe I shouldn't use his name. I'm just calling him a former thru hiker, and we all consider him a thru hiker, even though he was physically had injuries and was unable to finish. But he'll be back again, and eventually he will. And in our minds, he is a thru hiker. But anyway, he makes a good point on his last Q&A video when someone asked about getting in shape. And I hadn't really thought about this because, you know, I'm doing a lot of things. In fact, I've joined a gym now. I'm now pushing it at the gym, the weights, because I just feel like I'm not getting there fast enough. And so my muscles are getting stronger, my legs are getting stronger, my cardiovascular is getting stronger. And I do have a trail to walk on that is like the Appalachian Trail, except there's not the elevation. You don't need the elevation to practice walking on roots and rocks. And the statement that he made I thought was so valid is that you are going to use muscles walking on uneven terrain that you can't really push to the limit in a gym or doing all these other exercises. You'll see it with the video of the approach trail and seeing the ground and seeing the feet walking on the trail. It kind of lets you see that. So when you start hiking, when we all start hiking on the trail with the elevation and with the unevenness and the rocks and the roots, your foot, you know, you're twisting, you're turning, and it's hard on the calf muscles, it's hard on your knees, it's hard on your thighs. I know this because everything in me hurt because I was in such terrible shape. It's hard on your hip joints, it's hard on your glute muscles, it's hard on your lower back, it's hard on your shoulders, it's hard on your neck. It's hard on everything. And so I do encourage, though, everyone, and this is based on experience, compared to last season when we started, and then this season when I start a potential thru hike attempt, there will be no comparison between how I do. I mean, it will be so far apart. I already know that. I know that because after 20 days of hiking, when I go back on January 4th and do the approach trail, my fitness level and how difficult it was incredibly different. So now I know that it's going to be even more different. So my encouragement to people would be, know that you're not going to be able to get totally fit for the trail except by hiking. But you would have to hike every day, 6 or 7 hours a day for 2 or 3 weeks, maybe then take a rest and then come back out to really be fit for it. You know, doing a 1 day or a 2 day or 3 day though is a good thing because it starts building these muscles. It starts, and all of the other positive reasons for getting out and doing 2 and 3 and 4 day hikes. Do it. Absolutely do it if you can do that. If you can do it on a trail with elevation, do it. If you can do it on a rocky, rooty trail, do it. And if you don't have that available, or even if you do have that available, go to the gym, strengthen your muscles. Do something to strengthen the cardiovascular. For me, the stairs have turned out to be the greatest thing, plus it strengthens my legs. And, you know, I can push that cardiovascular way past my limit and continue to increase so that when I start climbing these elevations, my cardiovascular is going to do better and my muscles are going to do better. The ones that need to be developed by twisting and turning and going uphill and twisting and turning, those for me also, it's going to be when we get on the trail. So, and I'm not doing 8 hours a day, 7 days or 6 days or 5 days a week either. So no matter how fit I may get for my age and for my particular physical capacity, I'm still not going to be totally trail fit. And it's going to take some time. So keep that in mind. Do as much as you can. Early Riser has done did a lot of talk about that on his hike and has since then, and I really appreciate that. Start out slower than you think that you can go. I mean, you know, if you're convinced I can do 15 miles the first day, do 12. Plan on 12, plan on 10, because you've got a 2 day, 3 day, 4 day hike to Neal Gap, depending on whether you do the approach trail, depending on how fast you hike. So you know, those 4 days straight or 3 days straight or 5 days straight or whatever it's going to be for you are going to be hard on your body, and no matter who you are. And I'll throw out one other little tip. 100 feet in a tenth of a mile is when even the most fit hikers talk about bum kickers. And I've decided to use the England, word they use in England for our back end of bum. It's a bum kicker. If you have to go 100 feet up in a tenth of a mile, as I've watched the videos over time and as I've done, you know, the small amount of hiking that we've done, I mean, 300 miles is a small amount in the way that we did it. Like I said, I am still a rookie. But just knowing how hard it was on me, it was encouraging to hear people like Early Riser and Ron, was it Johnson? Okay, I'll get that name right and put it on the screen. Young, fit, athletic, even he complained about or talked about how tough they were. And it was generally, if it was 100 feet in a tenth of a mile, so you do a mile and you're going up 1,000 feet in that mile, then basically, and it's fairly straight, you know, then you've got this 100 feet every tenth of a mile. Bum kickers. So when you're looking at your elevations and thinking about how far you're going to go, keep that in mind. Is it a 200-foot climb that day, or is it a 600-foot, or is it 1,000-foot, or is it 1,500? And you know, how far is the distance that you have to do that 1,000-foot climb? It makes a huge difference. Those are the main things that a person who's done this in not the best of physical shape has noticed. And the one thing benefit about not being in the best physical shape when you do it is that you know which muscles hurt because and which muscles are being used, because everything, you know, specific muscles are taxed so much for you. And so hopefully this will help people make a decision. I love the approach trail. I mean, I just think it's a beautiful place. In fact, when I just went back through the videos, I had not remembered this, but there are a couple of views once you get up high when you're there in the winter or the early spring before the leaves have come in. There's a couple of really nice views through the trees. And so if you end up getting up towards Springer at time of the sunset, I happen to go on a day when there's a beautiful sunset. But you could also just start your day, hike from the bottom of, at the parking lot, and hike up that mile and do it in the evening and stay up there and watch the sunset and camp. I mean, you know, whatever. Nothing says you have to start at the rock there at Springer Mountain Summit and do 10 miles the first day or 8 miles the first day. I mean, just go up there and enjoy yourself and stay at the shelter up there, at the Springer Mountain Shelter. You know, just, you're going to be doing this for a very long time, and so let your first day be enjoyable, whatever you do. So hope that'll help somebody make up their mind, and hope to see you out on the trail. God bless everyone. Have a blessed day.